Hello everybody and welcome. I am the 10th Doctor 95 and today I will be showing you how to use the TARDIS mod. So before we begin, let me put my armor on. Now, first thing that you're going to need to do for this mod is make your TARDIS key. Now in order to make your TARDIS key, you are going to need 4 iron ingots and a Contron crystal. Now in order to get a Contron crystal, initially the only way you can do that is, well, either by getting one from someone who already has a TARDIS, or by finding it in a dungeon chest. Now, they are extremely common. This dungeon structure here that spawned from my Evilcraft mod had 4 in this one chest, so they are exceedingly common, so it shouldn't really be that hard to get a hold of one. Now once you have your TARDIS key, the first thing you're going to do is stand on the ground and right click your key on the ground, and then quickly move out of the way, and your TARDIS should begin to materialize on the spot where you were standing when you clicked the key. So once your TARDIS materializes, which mine is not going to do down there because it's already up here and I'm not far enough away for the key to call it to me. So once it materializes, you just enter. Now, initially when you first enter your TARDIS, right there, and there are just going to be doors that don't go anywhere. I will show you about doors and rooms later, but first let me show you the console room. So, first thing you do when you enter your TARDIS is you come up to here and grab your sonic screwdriver out of the slot. You will notice that there will initially be 3 modes: reconfigure, schematic, and dismantle. Once you level up your TARDIS, you will also get transmat, which you can use to teleport directly back to right where I'm standing now. But let's take a look at the console. So you've got your XP gauge, and your your TARDIS levels up as you fly around. You've got your energy gauge, your rooms counter, and your speedometer. Now, as you level up, you can increase the amount of energy that you have maximum total, and you can increase the rate at which it regenerates. You can increase the number of rooms that you have. And here's the speed lever. There's a lot of flight controls buttons on the console. I'll show you those later. This wheel changes the way that the TARDIS is facing when it lands. If you lose your sonic screwdriver, you can push this button and it'll make you a new one at the cost of some energy. This here is the coordinate guesser. It will tell you approximately where you are in the dimension that you're in. This is the room deletion control. That's one way of deleting rooms. More flight controls. So right here it says TARDIS data interface. If you right click here, it'll tell you your X coordinates. Now these levers here will change your X coordinates. So if and you do it by right clicking and shift right clicking. Now, this entire mod is based on right clicking and sneak right clicking. So, there's no GUI. So I highly recommend having Wayla or What Am I Looking At mod installed, because it makes life so much easier by telling you what each thing is. Now, there's these 3 big handles here which change the coordinates by a lot. Then there's these 2 smaller ones for fine-tuning it. And then you've also got these wheels, which this one over here it basically raises it like, I think it's like exponentially or something. It changes it a lot as the higher you go, and it maxes out at 7. Um, so let's see where we are currently at. Now that's telling us where we would go. Let's see. We are currently at negative 400,000 x. So let's just set it to 400 or positive 400,000 x. Now these are more flight controls. This is a flight stabilizer. Once you level your TARDIS up, you can turn this on so that you don't have to worry about using flight controls. Um, this is your uncoordinated and coordinated flight controls. It just changes it between coordinated flight and drifting. Over here, you've got your interior temporal control. Basically, you can change your TARDIS between daytime and nighttime. As you can see, it was dark and then light in there. You've got your dimension lever. So if I bring the console thing over here, it's showing me the dimension I'm in, which is the overworld, and my y coordinates, which are 144. Now, these four levers here will change your y coordinates. Um, this here, this is what tells the TARDIS whether to land in midair or on the ground. Personally, since I can fly, I prefer in midair because then I usually don't have to worry about things like facing unsafe drop into water or whatever, or possibly um, transmatting into a mountain and not being able to exit. Because if you are in like a mountain or the TARDIS door has blocks just outside of it, it won't let you open the door. It says something like the TARDIS door won't open for some reason. So I like to set my y coordinates high and then floating in midair so that I don't have to really worry about that. And then these are just landing pads. Um, as far as I know, they don't currently do anything. This mod is still being updated. I'm actually in contact with the mod maker, and he says that there's a lot of cool things that are still to come. So definitely looking forward to that. This is your dimension lever, as I said. We'll get to that later. This is how you make rooms in your TARDIS. So if you take your sonic screwdriver and you change it to schematic mode, you'll see that it says corridor-short. Now if you put it in there and say you want to make a room, you can change between medium chamber, library, big chamber, and medium farm. Now I'll set it to library to show you that later, but there's also corridor lifts, so you can make it so that you go up and down in the TARDIS. So you can set like your corridors to actually go up and down, which is cool. There's corridor junctions, so you can make like splits and stuff. And then there's actual corridors, but let's keep it as a library. So, um, next thing, um, over here is your z coordinates. Now this is basically just like the x, except it's these 5 levers and these wheels that control your z coordinates. There's no big levers. It's These are for fine-tuning your z control. These are more flight controls. This is your external scanner, which will tell you your current position in the dimension that you're in, and it'll tell you your uh, basically which way, um, like if say you're facing into a wall on that side that the door's on, but on another side it's open, you can turn the TARDIS and then take off and then land and be able to get out. So these are save slots, so you can save coordinates that you're at, in case you want to be able to like go, but like say you're playing on a multiplayer server with a bunch of friends, and you want to be able to go between their bases without having to remember their exact coordinates. If you go to the coordinates and then save them with this, um, you can just press a button, and if it's on load coordinates, and it'll take you to those coordinates. So you just have to remember which coordinate or which button is what or which person space that you want to go to. So now that's the console up here. So if we go down here, we have the temporal engine. Now right here, this is the console room settings. You can change how the console room looks. Originally, it's just completely white. It's the same shape and layout as this, except it's all white. Um, but I like mine, since I'm the 10th Doctor, I like it 10th-ish, sorry, version. Or you can have it set to full, which fills in all these gaps. Now, over here, there is a gravity lift that you can use to go up and down. So it's not like if you set it to full, you'll be trapped down there. Then here you can, right here you can toggle between players on the server and change their permissions, so what they can do in your TARDIS. So you can make it to where a certain person can't do anything in your TARDIS, so you can make it to where a certain person can only say modify rooms or fly it, or stuff like that. Over here, you've got some gauges. This one tells you how many level points you have. Currently, I don't have any because I've spent them. Here's your energy level gauge. As your TARDIS levels up, you will get uh, level points, and the maximum level of your gauges increases. Um, so energy levels are very important because um, in order so the further that you travel in your TARDIS, the more energy it uses. So um, or say you want to go somewhere really, really far away, you have to have enough max energy in order to get there. So having a high energy level is very important. And then here's your energy regen level, which originally it only regenerates, I believe, 1 energy per second or something like that. Um, each level increases the amount that it regenerates per second by 1. So currently mine regenerates by 3 energy per second, and my max energy is 6,000. Now the shields level, you don't need that right now. The mod author is still working on um, the um, new part of the mod that's going to deal with that, so I'm not entirely sure what that does yet, but um, when I find out, I'll let you guys know. And then this one here lets you increase the number of maximum rooms that you can have in your TARDIS. Now, over here, you can, if you put in your screwdriver, you can change what kind of permissions it has. So you can change um, whether or not it can recall, transmat, and locate. Now, obviously, since I want mine to be all of them, and then here you can change whether or not all parts of the TARDIS can interact with landing pads. Now, alright, so that's all of the console. Um, and as you can see, up here you've got the actual time rotor, which is really cool. It's got the high Gallifreyan um, art on it, or sorry, circular Gallifreyan language on it. And then you've also got this part of the time rotor, which is really cool. Um, this in here is a medium-sized room. Um, yeah, I was recording one day for my main series when I heard a noise that was Simon making his famous um, sound for what or the one he makes when he sees something really really adorable, and he bred two cows. I don't know where the baby one went, but yeah, so I heard him, and I had no idea what it was, so I came to investigate and saw that the entirety of the Yogg's cast has moved into my TARDIS. Not sure how they got here, not sure why they're here, not quite sure what I'm gonna do with them. But I will eventually deal with them to do something with them. But currently, I've just got them in here because I don't want them uh, wandering around my entire TARDIS, and I especially don't want anyone messing with the controls, especially like Simon or Duncan, especially Simon after what he did on the dwarf star. I mean, who puts cheese in a reactor? Anyways, so let me show you the different kinds of rooms. So there's a medium farm, which gives you 4 plots. Currently, I've got one for wheat. This is my special crops. I've got ender lily seeds growing over here. Um, this one I've got my animals in. I've got my sheep, my pig. Missing a pig. Uh, Great. I'm gonna have to get another one. I really need to name these guys because I think they might be despawning. Anyways, and I've got my cows and I've got my chickens. I've got vacuum hoppers set up here to suck that up. Anyway, or suck up their eggs. Anyways, um, if we oh, here, let me show you this. This is the room control panel. If you want to delete a room, actually, no, I'll show you that when I show you making a room, which I will do over here. Whoops, my bad. So let's go in here, block that back up. So if we go into here, this is, oh, hang on. Okay, I need to get them out of here before they, before I delete the room, otherwise they will die. Yes, I know this is very undignified dragging the Yogg's cast around by a lead, but it's for their own good. Come on, Alzy. And Lewis. And get back here, Sips. Alright, so now that they're out of here, if you set your sonic screwdriver to dismantle, and you right click the room control panel and then sneak right click, it will delete the room and teleport you back to your console room. Now, anything that is in that or in a room when you delete a room will be completely destroyed. So make sure that there's oops. So make sure that there's nothing in there that you don't want destroyed. I forgot that I was still in creative. Um, so as you can see, this has now turned back into a door. Um, so let's go ahead and make a library now. So you set it, you make sure it's on schematic mode, and then you right click the middle of the door, and boom, you have a room. Now, the library is very useful. It tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the mod. It tells you all about the console, and it's very well organized. Each different part is color coded, which is very helpful. Tells you about the coordinate system used by the TARDIS. It tells you how to take off. It tells you about drifting. It tells you about crafting, like in the lab. I'll show you guys that later. And it tells you about like the tools, like the screwdriver, gravity lift, battery roundels, landing pads, and engines. And then also the credits, which I'm going to show for a minute. I want to thank DarkholmeTenk, um, especially for making this mod, because this is very, very good mod. I absolutely love this mod, and I don't think I could ever play another mod pack without this mod. So, um, but yeah, I love this mod. It's a very good mod. And kudos to you, DarkholmeTenk. Or as his username on Curse website is ShaneDarkholme. I'll leave a link below to both the download link for this mod and to his user page, in case anyone else who tries this mod and loves it wants to send him a message or anything, or anyone has any questions that I haven't answered in this or can't answer. He should be able to uh, fill you in on that stuff. So let's get back to this. So here's the gravity lift again. So as you can see, it looks like there's nothing up there, and that you would need to fly to get up there. But in actuality, you just actually all you have to do is press shift. You don't even have to hold it, and you'll go right up to the next level. Then you don't have to jump down, and if you are, because as you've already seen, you can just press shift or sneak, yeah, whatever your sneak button is, and just go back down. Basically like an open blocks elevator, but a lot smoother. Now this here does not have a force field, so you will just fall. So be careful of that if you don't have anything that will keep you from taking fall damage. Um, so let's get back into this. Over here, put the wood back. We have the big chamber. It's, I believe, 25, from here all the way to the very top. I believe it's 25 blocks high, and it's about, I think, like 35 by 35 wide. If my memory serves, because my reactor that I built fills base basically the whole. Actually, no, I think it is 30 by 30, because let's see, this reactor is 32 wide, so that's 33, 34, 30. Okay, so it's 36 this way. Then it was 31, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so yeah, it's 36 by 36 by 25. Now, um, it's important to note that the TARDIS blocks themselves are unbreakable unless you're in creative. So, if you want to do remodeling, like I had to do in order to put my reactor here, you have to go into creative mode to do that. Let me show you what or because, oh, actually, I did leave it up here. So, big chambers will have this walkway up here, which is kind of cool, and you can make rooms off of up here as well. Or like if you make, say, another big chamber like I've done over here next door, you can get through both up here and down below, which is really cool. Oh, that was my first reactor that I put in. Um, this big giant thing here is very cool. If you want to see what it is and what it's about, you'll have to go to my series, which I will also leave a link to. As for some reason that's not loading for me right now, but as you can see, very big, and basically, if you keep leveling up your TARDIS and putting points into max rooms, you can have pretty much an unlimited number of rooms. I mean, the 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 minimum that you start out with is 30, which is very big. I don't think I will ever need more than that. I don't think I'll ever even use that much. But in case anyone does, you can get more rooms. So let's talk about the temporal laboratory. So as I said, nothing in this mod has a GUI. So um, this is made with a hopper, or I mean not made with, but it's you have to use a hopper to put things in the top and a chest to take things out of the bottom. Now in order to make a temporal laboratory, it's very simple. You need 6 iron ingots, a gold ingot, piece of glass, and a redstone. Now what this does is it makes 4 different materials that you can make. Um, Now 2 of them you actually need to be flying while you make them in order for them to be created. Also, these things here are Artron batteries. There are different levels, basic, advanced, and temporal, which you make with you make the basic with Dolichanium, Chronosteel, and a Contron crystal. These are made with the basic and those, and these are made with the temporal ones are made with. That's not right. Oh, hang on. Just being stupid. Oh, it's not bringing me up the recipe for the temporal. I don't know why, but anyways, these are like batteries, as they say. They store uh, time vortex energy. So if you right click, you can change what mode it is, and the mode that it's on um, changes. Um, if say you're landed, it needs to be on landed in order to charge. Put it on uncoordinated flight. You have to be in uncoordinated flight for it to be charging, and then coordinated flight for it to be charging as well. Now we're landed, so we're just going to leave it unlanded. So the temporal laboratory uses Artron energy, or time vortex energy, um, to create things. Now, or if you don't have your batteries, or if you don't have any batteries, which they charge just by being around, I don't have another one on me, but if I grab one really quickly, down here, and I just place it down, it's landed. As you can see, it's charging. I think that uh, how fast it charges depends on your energy regen level of your TARDIS. So I think that's why it's charging by 3. Let me try it with a basic one and see if it depends on. Okay, so no, it is the level of the battery. Okay, but as you can see, that's going up. Now if we put in, anyways, so in order to use the temporal laboratory, as I said, um, you can have batteries, but you don't need them. It'll take energy straight from your TARDIS, but you, these are a lot better because that it'll take energy from these instead of your TARDIS, which leaves the energy from your TARDIS to do things like fly and stuff. Um, so in order to hook them up to it, you just have to place them next to it. Um, so let's look at the recipes. So as I said earlier, um, the only way to get Contron crystals, or to get your first one, is to either find it in a dungeon chest or by getting one from someone who already has a TARDIS. Because if you have a temporal laboratory, you can make them. So what you have to do is you have to put a diamond and an ender pearl in, and you do not have to be in flight to do this. Let me grab a diamond and an ender pearl. Diamond, ender pearl. So let me put these in the top, and they'll go into that, and I turn that on. And it should be making me, there, done, made me a Contron crystal. So Contron crystals are used for making the TARDIS key and the basic Artron battery. So they're quite important. Um, Now, I'm also going to need a gold ingot, an iron ingot, a stack of dirt, and half a stack of bone meal. So let's go over here, dirt and bone meal. Alright, so the next thing that we can, oh wait, I need gold and iron as well, that's right. Gold and iron. Now, the next thing that we can make is a Galactanium ingot by putting a gold ingot in the temporal laboratory, and this also does not require you to be in flight. So if we go up here, we put a gold ingot in the hopper, give it a little bit of time, and boom, we have a Galactanium ingot. Now, Galactanium ingots are used for making landing pads, gravity lifts, and basic and advanced Artron batteries. So very useful. Now the next two recipes you have to do while your TARDIS is flying, so I'd recommend setting your TARDIS to fly somewhere far away, and then coming and doing this. I'm not quite sure if anything bad I mean, okay, so while your TARDIS is flying, until you have um, your stabilized flight option, um, you have to run around the console and flip the flight control buttons and levers that light up. I'll show you that in a little bit. But if you don't get to them in time, because there's only a certain amount of time that you have in order to flip it, um, there'll be like a small explosion that'll hurt you if you're near the console when it goes off. And for every flight control lever that you uh, push or flip or whatever, you get experience. So it's the best way to level up is to level up your TARDIS is by um, not using your flight stabilizers. But I'd recommend, like I was saying, I'm not sure if like anything else other than the small explosions can happen if you don't flip the levers. I haven't yet experienced anything else, so I mean, you could do this um, while you're flying your TARDIS even without flight stabilizers, um, but I'll probably do it with the stabilizers just so that I don't have to worry about it. So the next thing is an iron ingot in the temporal laboratory while flying will create a chronosteel ingot. Now, hang on. Let me get one of those so I can show you what it's used for. Chronosteel ingots are used to make nanogene canisters. Um, these are really cool. You put them in roundels, which I will show you later, and it will heal nearby players. Handheld manual, I don't think this does anything yet. I have to talk to the mod maker about it. Um, it makes landing pads and force fields, which is literally an invisible block that I'm pretty sure will stop things from going through. It makes gravity lifts, basic Artron batteries, and advanced Artron batteries. And then, last thing, it is one chronosteel, one Contron crystal, 64 dirt, and 32 bone meal in your temporal laboratory while flying will make you 2 temporal dirt. Now, don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure. This is only a guess, but I think what temporal dirt does is if you plant crops on it, they'll grow faster because it's infused with time energy. But like I said, I don't know for sure, so um, don't quote me on that. In fact, I'll ask the mod maker to clarify that. It's not used in crafting other than for micro blocks. Um, but so those are the 4 current recipes um, for the temporal laboratory. The mod maker will probably add more as he adds more things to the mod, which I am greatly looking forward to. Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you is the roundels. So if you take out your sonic screwdriver and you set it to reconfigure, you see these roundels here? They're everywhere. If you right click it with a sonic screwdriver that's in reconfigure mode, it'll make a cool sonic screwdriver sound and open up the roundel. Now what you can do with this is, hang on, you can take things like these TARDIS cable interfaces. There's ones for transmat, ME cables, energy conduits, item ducts, fluid ducts, chunk loaders, the nanogen canisters, and Essentia ones. The ComputerCraft one is still in progress, so don't use that. Like I said, and then what you do with them is, here, let's take that, and then let me just grab some energy cables and a battery. So say I want to get power into this room, but my reactor's all the way in there, and I don't feel like pumping. I don't feel like laying cables all the way to in there, which just so that it doesn't actually undermine what I'm about to show you. The reason I have these here is because cryo-stabilized flux ducts transfer literally an infinite amount of power through them, and I'm currently trying to fill that up with 2 trillion RF. So literally all of the power from my nuclear reactor is going through this and into there. So that's why I have that, because the roundels can only transfer, well, as you level up they can transfer more. Currently it's 800,000. I think originally it was 50,000. But, so you put the energy conduit on the open roundel by right clicking, and then if you right click, it'll tell you how much energy is in it. Obviously it's not going to say 800,000 of 800,000 because I've got machines that are working and using energy, but I've got energy constantly going in, so it's staying stable. So if you shift right click, you can put a cable on, and now it's filled with power. And then if you put down an oh wait, wow, I spawned in a cell frame, my bad. Give me a hardened energy cell. If we place that down, change the configuration so it's actually taking in power from the bottom, as you can see, now it is taking power out of the roundel. As you can see, it went from about 795,000 RF to 791 2,000 because it's the universal cables. That's about how much RF they transfer, the ultimate one. So it's pumping power directly into the hardened energy cell from there. And as you can see, now that the energy cell is full, these are back up to 796,000. So let's get rid of this. Now if you want to close a roundel, you change your sonic screwdriver to dismantle and then right click, and it'll take off the conduit or interface, whatever, that you have attached, and it will close the roundel. But you can reopen it again if you want. Now, as I said, there are quite a few different interfaces. There's transmat. I'm still working on how to use that one. There's ME cable, which obviously you can do, or what I just showed you with energy, you can do with ME cables. So you can, instead of making giant cables all the way over to your computer, you can just plug your computer into the TARDIS and then put in ME cable interfaces on roundels near where you need your cables to go into, and then you can just plug it in and it'll go into the cable, then into the TARDIS, and then out into your computer. So there are also item ducts, which is basically it's a way of, like, say I'm not using an ME system, but I need to pump items from, say, my ore processing plant into, say, a sorting facility. So what I can do is I can put item ducts onto the output of the smelting factory, open up a roundel, stick on a item duct conduit, and then um, put in or plug the item duct into it, and then turn it on, and the finished products will go into the item duct, into the roundel, and then out of wherever I have the output at. Now, I'm not sure if you can set different channels for these, or if they all just go out of wherever your output is. Because I use the ME system, so I use the the ME cables, so I don't have to worry about that. But there's also fluiducts. So basically, you do the same thing with fluids. Chunk loaders, you just stick that on, and either just by putting it on, it'll keep the chunk loaded, or you can just attach a chunk loader to it, and I think it'll either keep the room loaded or the whole TARDIS loaded. I'm not sure because I don't use the chunk loader interfaces. I just use the normal chunk loaders. Now, nanogene canisters, like I said earlier, they'll heal you by standing nearby them. And then Essentia ones are for Thaumcraft. You can use them to transfer Essentia around the TARDIS, which is useful. So now that I've shown you that, so let's see. I've shown you how to make your TARDIS key. I've shown you Contron crystals. I've shown you how to make Dolichanium. I've shown you how to use roundels, changing the console room. I've shown you the console. I've shown you the interfaces, how to make and delete rooms. So now, I believe it is time for us to actually fly the TARDIS. Now, if you remember from the beginning of the video, we are currently over a big ocean. Now, if I come over here, and so let's see, what are my current coordinates? My current coordinates are negative 400,000, positive 400,000. So I've got my Z set to 400,000, my X set to 400,000. So let's go the opposite. Let's turn down all of my Z's so that it goes into the negatives. So now that's negative 400,000. So let's turn off the let's turn off the flight stabilizers so I can show you the flight controls. So now, if we now that we have our coordinates set, now we start the takeoff sequence. So the first thing you do is you press your temporal primer, and then you pull the helmet regulator, and then you release the quantum handbrake. And as you can hear, the TARDIS is now taking off. The time rotor is moving. In a minute, it will give us a progress screen. Oh wait, hang on, let's turn down the speed lever because we don't want to get there too quickly because I got to show you some stuff. As you can see, like, the flight levers are lighting up blue. Oh, I'm creative still. So if you push them in time, you get experience for your TARDIS, so that's it. But you also get experience from flying. just regular flying, but you get a boost of experience for flipping flight controls and stuff. So let's put it back on stable. So now it'll stop doing that. And let's go back over here to the temporal laboratory. And let's make a chrono steel. So let's go to the hopper and put in an iron ingot. We'll give it a little bit of time. And since we are flying, it will make us a... Come on. Where's it at? I know you've got it. Come on. Let me check on the flight progress. Alright, we are 4% there. Wow. Well, we are going a very long way away. Alright, come on. Oh wait, hang on. Coordinated flight. Alright, so now it's using energy from these. There, that was the problem. It wasn't using energy. So now we've got our chrono steel ingot. Now let's make our temporal dirt. So we go to the hopper, we put in chrono steel ingot, Contron crystal, 64 dirt, and 32 bone meal. It's going to take some time to put it all in. That's recharging. Have we landed? I don't think so. No, we're at 5%. No, oh, it's because it's not actually using power, duh, because it's still waiting for all of the materials. So it's almost there. So once it gets less bone meal, it should start using energy. There. Now it's made us 2 temporal dirt. Now, like I said earlier, in order to make chrono steel and temporal dirt, you have to do it while flying your TARDIS. Um, so this is going to take a while. So I'm gonna put the speed lever all the way up, and I will get back to you guys when we land. Hey everybody, and welcome back. So we've landed. Took a bit. The further away that you travel from where you start, the longer it takes to get there, as one might expect. Also, the further you go, the more energy it uses. So during the flight, I just mess around using the flight controls. I had my flight stabilizer off. I leveled up my TARDIS about 6 or 7 times during that. So that's helpful. It's very, very easy to level up your TARDIS. You just have to fly around and use the flight controls. One thing I want to uh, talk about real quick before we go outside is the flight controls. I don't know if this is a bug or if it's intentional, but sometimes when you're in flight, like I said earlier, they will light up blue for the ones that you need to push or flip or whatever. But sometimes one of the flight control things will light up blue for like half a second and then um, stop lighting up blue and it'll switch to another one. Um, Also, sometimes it will do the same thing, but before it switches to another one, it will blow up. Like it'll make an explosion that hurts you. Again, I don't know if this is intentional or just a small glitch. I'll have to talk to the mod maker Darkholme to find that out. But let us go take a look outside. Let's check the external scanner. Alright, so we're over an ocean still, but if you notice, we are now, okay, so previously we were at negative 400,000 x, positive 400,000 z. Now we are at positive 400,000 x and negative 400,000 z. So if we go outside, alright, as the world loads in, ever so slowly, as you can see, we are still over an ocean, but completely different part of the ocean. That house thing there is new. That island over there is new. The evil craft structure is not here anymore. And the little island that I had kind of uh, blown up in my series with, well, not blown up, but sent half of it to the moon with my portal gun is gone as well. So we successfully traveled through space. So now we're gonna travel through dimensions. Whoa. So we are in the overworld currently. Now the options we have for dimensions are the Underdark, which currently I think it's like bugged out or something, because whenever I try to go there, like in my TARDIS, no matter what coordinates I use, I'm always surrounded by blocks, so I can't actually exit my TARDIS. And the dimension level for it is negative 100, but for some reason, my commands thing is for that is messed up. I don't know why. I mean, I can hang on. Let me do something real quick. I mean, I can do this. I give myself 64 stone and whatever item, but I can't look up help or slash help or do slash, and I can teleport myself around. I just can't teleport between dimensions. I don't know why. It's kind of weird, but so we're not gonna go to the Underdark. We can go to the End or the Nether, but I mean, why go there? Uh, those places are so um, well traveled and boring. We've got the Overworld. We can go to the Moon, but I've been there. We could go to Mars. I've been there as well. We can go to Mercury, Venus, Io, um, Europa, Callisto. Those are Jupiter's moons, by the way. We can go to Phobos, which is a moon. Oh wait, and then there's Moon to Io, Jupiter, Enceladus, Pluto, Deimos, Ceres, Ganymede, Ellipse, Titan, Oberon, Proteus, and Triton. Let's go to Venus. There we go. Alright, so we're going to Venus now. So, we hit the temporal primer, we flip the Helmich regulator and release the quantum handbrake, and off we go. Landed. Alright, let's go to Venus. Downloading terrain. Alright, bear with me. Whoa, it's gonna take a little bit of time to spawn this in. But yeah, look, we are on Venus. And are these evolved blazes? Yes, they are. You, my friend, are dead. So are all of you. They thought they could kill me. Really, creeper? What? Okay, so that's lava. Evolved blaze egg. No, I can't pick them up like that. They're not actually doing anything. Oh, that's boring. There's just coal ore down here. It's like a half generated dungeon. That's annoying. Hmm. Um, Let me just grab this real quick. Alright. But yeah, so we are on Venus now. I don't need a silly rocket. I can just frickin' teleport to Venus. Well, by teleport, I mean fly my TARDIS there. Oh, maybe this one has something in it. Let's go take a look. Low gravity. Actually, high gravity. Okay, this is weird. There's like nothing here. Alright, let's just do this. Iron, sulfur. Um, there's some lava there. Iron, some tin. Ow. It's kind of hot. What's this? That, it's just frickin' copper. This is kind of boring. But anyways, so yeah, guys, we can really. You wanna have a bow fight with me, really? I don't think so. We can go. We can use our TARDIS. We can fly around the world. We can fly around the universe. Go to different dimensions. Wow, that was some really bad shots right there. Um, Fly to different planets, moons, the whole shebang. So, let me just get back into my TARDIS. Um, so thank you guys for joining me. And thank you again to Darkholme and the other people who helped him make this mod. Absolutely fantastic mod. Absolutely love it. Definitely give it 10 out of 10. And recommend it to pretty much everyone. And again, I will in the descriptions below include links to the curse download page for this mod, a link to Darkholme's curse user page if you have any questions for him that I haven't answered in this video or can't answer for you. And I will also leave a link to my main series, the Doctor's Space Adventure, where I am just flying around, um, tinkering with magic mods, science mods, stuff like that. Um, and I'm always looking for new mods to try out, so always taking suggestions for mods to look or to uh, add to my mod pack. If anyone has any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. But other than that, thank you guys for joining me, and be sure to check out the TARDIS mod. Have a good day, guys. Bye.